Is Game of Thrones Beyond the Wall like Season 4? Or is it more like Season 8? If you want to know more, let's dive in. Welcome back to the channel, guys. It's Ridiculous Dad again. We drop weekly gaming news and reviews, so if you like what you see, click on that subscribe button. It's now been a year since the final episode of Game of Thrones, and no, I haven't moved on from that BS. So it's just fitting that today we do a quick review of the mobile game Game of Thrones Beyond the Wall. Now hold up, that title's a mouthful, so I'm just calling it BTW. The game was developed by Behavior Entertainment and Gaia Interactive and was released on March 2020. What it is, it's a turn-based tactical RPG structured around the mythology of the TV series. So now let's talk about the storyline. The plot revolves around the Night Watch. Decades before the events of the series, the Lord Commander goes missing, so his responsibilities now fall under the shoulders of our main protagonist, Mr. Alvar Spire. Some rather strange events begin to happen beyond the wall. Hint hint, and now Alvar and his men must go march past said wall and investigate. Alvar believes that these occurrences are perhaps connected to the Bloodraven, former Lord Commander Brynden Rivers, the guy who was missing. Honestly, the story in this game, it's so damn weak. I found no element to the story that reeled me in and got me invested. I know it's a free to download mobile game, but at least make it feel like Game of Thrones. Like, really, guys? Well, maybe, okay, Game of Thrones before Season 8. Now let's talk about gameplay. BTW, once again, is a turn-based tactical RPG. You have units scattered in a grid-like battlefield, and each faction take turns attacking. And yes, I did say each faction take turns. Your unit take a turn, and then the enemy's unit take a turn, and so on and so forth. And of course, each unit's turn consists of an action and movement. A wrinkle that this game has in terms of battle mechanics though is that once a unit does a melee attack, the damage unit counters automatically. That in itself could be polarizing. You either think that's cheap gameplay, or you can argue it's a rather unique gimmick that would make you actually strategize and not just go balls out hacking and slashing. Another thing that I'm odds with is the stage design. I know that the game is set in the north, past the wall, hence the blatant use of the winter theme, but there are no discernible differences in the terrain or environment, like height or depth, that could help enhance the strategy aspect of this game. Yeah, there are objects or obstacles in the field of battle which you can use to bottleneck the enemy's advances, but that's pretty much it. Also, you can only use one hero when building your 4-unit team, which means you can't build a team of Jon, Jaime, Melisandre, and Daenerys. This limitation is worse than story mode, since you can only use heroes that are part of the story, which I guess is understandable. So your home screen, in a nutshell, is basically a fort on the wall, and I'd be assuming it's Castle Black. Characters are summoned through the Night's Watch Oath, which is the gacha aspect of these mobile games. There are two types of these characters. You have heroes and you have the basic units. You can find the units in the barracks, and much like any of the other RPG, each unit have classes with different range of attack and mobility. Each unit has a region they would come from because they're a crow now, so they took the oath, and the regions are symbolized by the ruling house's flag. So basically the north would be symbolized by the Stark flag, and so on and so forth. This is important because the game has a regional aura buff for these units. Units can be leveled up using experience stones you acquire from the battle. Units have 3 main skills as well, which are all upgradable. Similar to other RPGs, you can also make the units stronger by collecting more of their shards. By doing so, you can promote them or their badges, I'll call them badges for now, from bronze to silver and then to gold. There are also 4 types of gear you can upgrade, one for the right hand, one for the left hand, your armor, and your boots. You can also enhance them even more by applying unit traits. So now we're going to talk about the actual people we would be familiar with, the heroes, and you can find them in the Hearth. So the so-called heroes in this game are the main characters of the game itself, as well as of course the characters of the show. So as you can see, I'm going to show you Daenerys, 2 Jon Snows, Jaime, and Melisandre. So now these heroes can also be leveled up, of course, by using these blue hero XP tomes. They can also be promoted up to 6 stars by collecting more of their pieces or shards. So heroes have also 3 abilities, with the third being unlocked once promoted to 3 stars. And heroes can use tactic cards, which gives them various buffs or abilities. Each time you level up your hero, you gain a point, so you can upgrade the hero traits, which also buffs up the hero. BTW has a lot of game modes to offer, which is pretty much what you expect from these sort of games. Majority of these modes are found beyond the wall. Of course, you have the story mode, chapter-based levels, with 7 stages per chapter, including a boss at the very end. Story mode stages gives you access to the resources to build up your units as a form of rewards. Other game modes will be accessible as you increase your own commander level or the player rank. You have the weirwood forays. In this mode, you trek through the north in search of the weirwood, gathering treasure and going through enemies along the way. The weirwood forays is the easiest way to collect tiers of unsullied insignia, which you use to promote your units. Expedition, on the other hand, is an AFK game mode wherein you send units to complete various tasks. These tasks are region-based, meaning they will require a unit from a specific region. These missions may also require more than one unit at a time. You also have Uncharted Lands, which gives you access to various pendant buffs you can equip your heroes with to make them stronger. You also have ranging stages, which reward you with parchment traits. These, on the other hand, are equipped to your basic units as a way to enhance them as well. If we go back to Castle Black, which, like I said, I'm assuming it is Castle Black, we can find the legendary events. This is the primary game mode where you can use your heroes. Legendary events are typically released fortnightly. You would usually get a cutscene at the start of the event to introduce you to the featured character. Some of the past events include the Battle of the Bastards, well, sort of, and sort of the Loot Train attack. Both from Daenerys and Jaime's vantage point though, which is nice. One thing I like about BTW is that featured heroes are pretty much gifted to the player. As long as you play the legendary event, you are most certainly guaranteed to acquire said hero. In general, mobile game RPG nowadays would be incomplete without a PvP mode, and BTW has it in the hero arena. Of course, you go through a gauntlet of other online players to rank as high as you could to collect rewards. One thing I think is lacking in this game though is an alliance or clan building feature, allowing you to also play with and not just against other players online. And of course there are in-game transactions available in this game, but they aren't really in your face with it. So something very different in comparison to similar games to BTW. To wrap it up, the variety of game modes in BTW is definitely a strength. But the gameplay itself becomes monotonous and boring, and it's exacerbated by the lifeless stage design. Yeah, it is quite easy to collect heroes and units, but the amount of resource grinding to level them up pretty much even things out. The main plot is uninteresting, but the cutscenes for the legendary events are something to look forward to if you're a fan of the series. Beyond the Wall is a decent game, a passable game, but it's too generic and too bland for my taste. It might be worthy of your time if you're a super fan of the show. I give it 2 health hearts. So there you have it, boys and girls, my review of Game of Thrones Beyond the Wall. So what did you think of the game? Do you agree with my review at all? Do you have a suggestion for which game I should review next? Should I continue doing Beyond the Wall videos? Please feel free to comment down below, and if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel and turn the alarm bell on to receive notifications every time I drop a new video. I'll catch you next time guys, until then, stay safe.